Hi, Crafterliticans. Good day to you. I hope you're having a good day wherever you are and whenever you're watching. You are really appreciated. Thank you for being here. I wanted to talk today a little bit about rejection and disappointment. Because running a YouTube channel is really hard. um, that you see comments, and I've mentioned these before. Get a real job or whatever else on other people's channels. And you're like, it is a real job. Unless you've tried to do it, I don't think you understand just how much work goes into these. So I wanted to say there's been a couple of YouTubers that have given advice, Tug and Nerd Report. Tug is that umbrella guy, well worth watching because he's lovely. He's really, really nice, and genuinely lovely person, great content and everything else. And he was saying that, the key to running a successful channel is talking about something you're actually passionate about, because if you're passionate, that enthuses other people and it doesn't feel quite so much like work. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I made a decision a long time ago to follow my passion rather than, money and a career and that kind of thing. And I've loved everything that I've done. And, I get to pick my hours around my illness and, all the rest of it and my kids. But it does mean that money is few and far between. But, my partner and I, we always say we'd rather be piss poor but happy. Both of us had parents that worked really hard at the jobs they had and hated every day, counted down the days to retirement or, whatever, just to get through it. And we didn't want that. We didn't want that for us or for our kids, right? So, it's why I'm so passionate about creativity and being your authentic self, because we both lived according to other people's rules on how you should work and, how much money you should earn and that kind of thing. And we were just miserable. The second piece of advice was from Lewis at Nerd Report, which is plan for disappointment. Prepare yourself for being constantly disappointed. And you're not wrong, Lewis. You are not wrong. But it's really difficult because if you prepare yourself too much for being disappointed, you're just constantly disappointed. So you've got to have that bit of optimism. And while Lewis's advice wasn't as optimistic or positive as I would have liked, he's not wrong. It is really disappointing. You put out a video that you think is really interesting and like you've got 3 views and no one's pressed the like button. It's so sad. So I wanted to talk about how I'm dealing with disappointment and rejection, because I've been sending out emails and contacting people about interviews and advice and editing software and all of those things. And I either get a very polite shrug off or I don't get any response at all. Now, story time. Back when I was a lot younger, I worked in sales, and there was this rule of 10. For every 9 rejections or no's you get a yes. And that's still true, but I hate it. I really do. Because it's so hard not to be disheartened. And I have friends who, are really talented writers who cannot get a publisher. Or if they do, they're wrapped into the same project over and over when they want to experiment and they want to play with their creativity and that kind of thing. And there's disappointment in every walk of life, especially when you work in creativity. So how am I dealing with that? Well, I'm channeling it into laughing, firstly, because you've got to find this kind of thing funny. I allow myself kind of up to 48 hours of moping and being down and allowing myself to feel the feelings. And then at that point, I pick myself up and go, okay, what's next? What am I going to try next? Because not every idea, not every video is going to be something that resonates with people. And it's really difficult when you follow some amazing people, especially on YouTube, who get to be monetized really quickly. They start their channel and suddenly they're up to 10,000 subscribers in just a matter of a couple of weeks. And it's not that I'm ungrateful for my 26 subscribers. I love all of you, and I'm so happy that you are here and you're supporting me. Please don't think it's anything other than that. It's just, it can be really disheartening. So I'm going to keep plugging away. I'm going to keep making videos that I find interesting, that I think might reach someone and let them know that they're not alone, and help them rethink how they're going about things or what they're doing, and just give another perspective. So that's number one. Number two, I am channeling my nervous energy into creating. I'm making Christmas presents at the moment. I accidentally volunteered myself to make some stuff. So I'm doing that. I am, for Christmas this year, if friends and family members want to buy me anything, I am asking for vouchers for, Amazon and electronic stores and my favorite wool place, or yarn place, Wool Warehouse. They're somewhat local to me, family run business, really great service. So that I can put all of that into my new studio. So I have yarn stocks and, hopefully better lighting, better camera, editing software, that kind of thing to up my game and make things a bit more interesting. Because, that's the next phase. I've been doing this a few months. I've learned a lot. I've watched other people. I've seen kind of how they're doing their intros. I'm looking at logos. I'm, all of those things to up my game. So I am channeling this into, okay, what's next? What's the next phase? How do I up my game? How do I present myself authentically, but in a way that is going to attract people? I'm not going to please everyone all of the time. And, someone out there is going to think I've got an annoying voice or weird mannerisms. I do pull funny faces. I know there are times, like looking through my video list, some of those thumbnails are not attractive. Always manages to catch me in a really weird pose. So I'm working on different ideas for all of that. And thank you to Uncivil Law for Kurt over on Uncivil Law did a really interesting video on crowdsourcing artwork, logo ideas, and that kind of thing using Midjourney. And that was a really interesting video. And it gave me some ideas. So, it's about experimenting and trying something new and taking that anxiety, that disappointment, that rejection, and kind of going, okay, I am going to use this as a competition with myself to do better next time, to try something new. And it's not always easy. There are going to be moments where I'm really down. I'm really disappointed. I don't get a lot of time to make videos and do things the way I would like to. My life just is not set up like that right now. And as you can probably hear in the background, I've got the washing machine going. One of my kids is in the living room, yelling at what she's watching while she's eating lunch, and all of those things they get in the way. And this is the other thing with creativity, is you have to find time. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there really works. This is, a 9.5-minute video while she's distracted between housework. So, I am using this as an opportunity to kind of go, okay, I need to sink some energy in this. I'm going to be creative and let my hindbrain do some work and come up with some ideas while I'm busy with my hands, because I find if my hands are busy, my brain does the things that it needs to do sometimes. But I'm also kind of, okay, so the advice out there from other YouTubers is pretty negative. Or it's not that it's negative, it's just it's not the positive encouragement that you want from other creators. Um, you know, Generally speaking, the community lifts you up. It really does. The other people involved in the chat and everything else, it's a real community. And that's really what I want to build here. I want to get people making connections and celebrating each other's creativity and boosting people when they're down and supporting each other. But you can only do that with someone at the helms, the person on the camera and their team who is also working on that community. And although it wasn't the positive spin and the uplift that I really wanted, I get it, because it is hard work. It is hard work. These videos take, they take hours. This is an 11-minute video right now. It's taken me 2 days to really think about what I want to say and how I'm going to spin this into a positive and put positivity out there. It's taken another hour and a half to get to a point where it's somewhat quiet enough to do the video. So, it and then of course, when I've got editing software and I've got a logo and a theme tune and intro and all the rest of it, all of that has to be put into it. And to start off with, that's going to take me forever, because I'm not amazingly technology savvy, but also I'm not going to be used to the tech and the shortcuts and everything else. And I don't really have many people around me who mess around with this kind of thing, who can advise me. So it's going to be some trial and error. So, this is something I'm passionate about. It's something I really want to do. And it's something I don't mind putting all of that time into. So I need your help. Watch my videos, like them, subscribe, share them with someone who needs that injection of, you are not alone. You can do this. You can turn your creativity into a positive, and a positive for other people as well as yourself. So you can do the thing, I can do the thing. And I'm hoping that you've watched all the way through this video and you're going to like, subscribe, hit that bell, share it, tweet about it, post it on Facebook, whatever, and get the word out there. I would really appreciate it if you do. Next time, I've got some other videos planned, but those are going to take me a little bit more time to do. So there may be a few videos before you see something that's a little bit more professional. I'm trying. I am really, really trying. Until next time, I hope you're okay. Look after yourselves and each other. Do something kind for yourself and for one other person. And I will speak to you soon. Thank you. You are appreciated.